So here's a funny story. As I was recording for probably the past 2 hours, I opened up my editor just to see what it would look like, and I realized that on my OBS I had two microphone input devices selected, and they were at different frequencies. Basically, in non-nerd talk, the recording was hella echoey and it's just garbage now. So basically, I gotta restart the entire thing. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna try and act like I'm not running off of two monsters and 3 hours of sleep, but we're back in another video. I'm gonna try and make your wishes come true, as they say. About a month ago, I posted a poll in the karate community Discord, and you guys really wanted to see me make a new video slash series, basically starting from a brand new account from scratch and working my way up, basically just to show that it's really not a hard game to learn. It just takes time and kind of walking you through the steps of the game if you're basically new. So with that out of the way, I'm going to show you an example of what the audio on the previous recording actually sounded like. Then you'll probably understand where I'm coming from. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and cut to my new account. Nobody's ever going to decipher this. Nobody's going to know it's me. Oh my god, bright mode! Please kill me now! So as soon as you load in, you're going to get hit in the face with a tutorial. But we can just skip through this. You can pay attention if you want, but I'm about to go through all of this in bigger detail. Alright, so once you're done with that, what you want to do is press the control key on your keyboard, or whatever stance key is on whatever device you're playing. So when you start playing the game for the first time, you're going to have Gojo Ryu equipped. That's the starter style, and it's going to tell you that it's a defensive style type. Now, the defensive style type allows the user to hold down their block for as long as they wish, whether it being a short block or they can hold it down to the full duration. Only defensive styles can do this, unlike offensive and counter-offensive styles, which have different abilities. So here you're going to see that you have three different ways of attacking. You have your left click, which is going to be your standard punch. You got your E, which is going to be your right kick, and then you got Q, which is your left kick. Now, all three of these attacks have different cooldowns and ranges, so it's nice to get used to these attacks and know what to use in certain situations. Apart from that, you have your right click, which is blocking, and you can hold this down for as long as you want. You can let it go whenever to release the block, which basically gives you more control over your defense. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just go find an open map with somebody on it, and then take your first fight. Now right here, it's going to show you your stats, and then your opponent's stats, and then in the middle, it's going to ask you how many rounds you want to play. I'm going to click first to 5. Alright, so he's using an offensive style, which means he has a fixed block duration, so he can't control it as well as I can. The trade-off for that being he has a much faster attack cooldown, as he's using Street Brawler. I can kick, block that. I'm gonna hold my block. And there we go. Would you look at that? That one block, that 1 point I scored on him made him rage quit. That's how good Gojo is. Alright, so we're gonna be playing another game. They're using an offensive style as well, but they're using Tang Sudo. So I want you to click first to 5 again. Cool, we agree. Now what happens if you don't agree? It just randomizes it, basically. So using my knowledge that I already know of Tang Sudo as a player that's been playing for over a year, I know that it has a really long block cooldown, but their attacks are really fast. So if I can get her to bait her block, why the heck is my block look like that? I haven't even blocked once. If I can get her to bait her block, then I know that her block is just completely wasted, and I just have to not clash, because clashing with an offensive style resets their block. My block rush. Yeah. And punch. There we go. That's a nice combo that you can learn. Is just punch, and then since a lot of the people you're going to be fighting are also new, they're going to immediately punch back in response, and then you can just block that punch, and then they're basically screwed. I don't know why I blocked there. I'm used to my other account. And there we go. We won 5-3. And as you can see up top, it's going to give us some yen and XP as a reward. Alright, we're going to go ahead and play one last game. This guy's also using Gojo Ryu, so hopefully I can show you some beginner techniques and combos that you can really use to your advantage. Alright, so we're gonna go, always gonna go up and punch immediately, and he just did not do anything. Alright, cool. Punch. And we're never gonna block rush. There we go. We're never gonna block rush when you're playing Gojo versus Gojo, and this is like early game stuff. But you never want to run up and then block in their face, because that's just, that will never work. Wow, that was wild. There we go. That was a nice little chain we got going. Honestly, for a newbie, this guy's pretty good. Maybe that, or maybe I just haven't played Gojo in a really long time. Nice. I'm not really sure where he was looking there, but I'm gonna take it. Nice. Get a little spin move on him. Get a little Drake helicopter.
What?
Punch him. There we go. Yeah, see, like right now I'm learning what this guy does. Like, this guy is very good for a new player. So, and he always just attacks right off the bat, so I can just tap a block. There we go. Yeah, I'm learning. I'm adapting like a reptile. Wow, if he would have blocked that, I would have been screwed. Oh, I'm good. Never mind. Oh my goodness. Come on, it's 7-8. We need one more. There's no way I lose to knock off Darth Vader. There we go. Okay, cool. That was like perfect range too. Winner is yours truly. Beautiful. Drop a GG's. And would you look at that, I'm glowing. So on to our next segment, it's going to be the vendors. Now, when you load in, you're going to be basically right in between these two vendors. You get the style vendor over here on the left side, and you have the inventory vendor over here on the right side. They both go hand in hand. So over here, you can walk up to the style vendor, and on the bottom, it's going to show basically your daily shop. It's going to have 4 items that refresh every 24 hours, along with a limited edition, basically. Now, when we go to the next tab over, we're going to go to the style tab, and it's going to show you all the styles that are available per purchase, and currently there's 11 styles in the game, including the starter style Gojo Ryu. Now, there's 3 different types of styles, including defensive, offensive, and counter-offensive. As we've already gone over, the defensive special ability was being able to hold your block for as long as you want, compared to an offensive style has a fixed block duration, which you basically have to commit to after you click. And the defensive styles are going to include Gojo Ryu, Cheeto Ryu, and Shorin Ryu. Anyways, that's going to take us to our next segment. That's going to be offensive styles. Now, offensive styles don't have a clear ability per se, but they have a very, very fast attack cooldown compared to all of the other styles. So people say that's what its main ability is, just because they're able to attack much more often than any of the other styles. Now, these offensive styles include styles like Tank Sudo, Street Brawler, Muay Thai, and Kyokushin. And then, last but definitely not least, is the counter-offensive style type. Now, these styles are very high-risk, high-reward-esque in a way where their block button is completely replaced with a parry key. And basically, if you perfectly parry your opponent's attack, then it stuns them for a certain duration, depending on what style you're using. And it basically makes them very, very open, and 99% of the time you're going to score a free point from it since they're stunned for so long. And then these styles include Shotokan, Taekwondo, Water Ryu, and Kung Fu. A small disclaimer when you're attempting to buy a style or looking for new styles to buy. Just because a style can be expensive does not mean that it's good whatsoever. So, for example, if I take Kung Fu here, it's at a whopping price of 5,250 yen. Just because it's super expensive does not mean that it is good. I hardly ever see anybody using this style just because of how bad it is. Now, if you're wondering what the best style in the game is, the answer to that gets pretty complicated because there's no certain one best style. It's all about how well you play. Say, if you're a reactive player, then the best style for you might be Wado Ryu or Taekwondo. But if you're an offensive player, and I hate to say it, but the best style for you would be Shorin Ryu right now because it is insanely broken right now. And unless you are so, for example, you're using Shorin Ryu, unless your opponent is using a counter-offensive style with a parry feature, there's a big percent chance that you're gonna win just because of how broken it is right now. I'm not going to go into full detail about how the style came to be and how it's just completely obliterating every other style right now, but if you guys want me to make a video on that, leave a comment down below. And then this is where our inventory vendor comes into play. Like I said, both the inventory vendor and the style vendor all the way over there, they both go hand in hand. So say I want to buy something from the daily item shop over there. Now on this account, I can't because I'm poor. But say I did buy something from there. Then to equip it, it would appear over here in the inventory vendor, which I could cycle through all of these different tabs, basically showing me what stuff I've unlocked. Now since this is a new account, I don't really have anything unlocked except for this white name color that you unlock at tier 3. So with the default, it would look like a darker kind of tan. But with this equipped, I can go equip it here. Now it's a bright white. And that's going to take us to our last segment of the video, which is going to be how to join a dojo. So you might see this guy over here and be like, well, how's he in Cobra Kai Dojo? Well, the answer is pretty simple, actually. Now, around the map, you're going to see these NPCs, and these are what are called public NPC dojos. So, right here next to me, I have the Iron Dragon and Eagle Fang dojos, and it's very, very easy to join these. All you got to do is say, I want to walk up to this guy. I'm going to click to interact with him. He's going to ask me if I want to join the dojo. Say, yeah, because why not? And would you look at that, it immediately puts me in that, and it's going to give me the title under my name. But say I get tired of this and I want to leave the dojo, or maybe I want to go join another one, then all I have to do is go talk to him again, and it's going to say, you're already in the dojo, would you like to leave? I'm going to say yes. And I'm no longer in the dojo. Now in karate, there's two types of dojos. There's these NPC public dojos that I just went over, and then there's player-made dojos, which are a little harder to join. So to join a player-made dojo, the process gets a little more complicated, as you actually got to go to the karate group that made the game. So to find that, basically just go to the karate game. Oh my gosh, bright mode. Basically go to the karate game, and under the name it's going to say by the group it was made by. Just go ahead and click that. It's going to take you to the karate community. Then you're going to want to go over here to the affiliates tab, click that, and then here you can scroll through the pages and see a bunch of player-made dojos that you can join. Now, important thing to note during joining these dojos is that some of them do require tryouts, in which that is the case. Say, I'll take Bare Knuckle for example. You'd have to join their community Discord server, and I think every single dojo is required to have it linked to their group page. So just go ahead and click that. You gotta be 13, by the way, because yeah, if you're not, you're gonna get banned. But say I don't want anything too high key. I don't want to be too competitive right now, as I'm just starting off. I just want a cool gi and a cool title under my username. Well, then there are public player-made dojos as well. So say I'm gonna scroll over to Akuma Kai. You can usually find them because they'll have the most members because you don't have to have tryouts to join. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press join community right here, and then I'm going to rejoin the game, and then we'll see from there. Alright, so we just loaded in, and would you look at that, I am already in the dojo. It took less than a minute to go sign up for, and it wasn't really hard to do. All I have to do is just go to the community page and join the group from there, and then you're in the dojo. Boom, nothing else you gotta do. So if this video did help you just a little bit get used to the game or learn more about it, leave me a comment down below. If you do want to see a continuation of the series, maybe where I get more in-depth details on the different styles, maybe try them out, give some quick tips and tricks, make sure to drop a like, and then I'll see you in the next one.